want to ask about the writer's room. There's an early
Oh,
photo.
wow.
1992
Holy
writer's
cow.
room. I can't. You might be hiding in the back somewhere. I can't.
Oh no, I'm this big fat guy
Are
right
you?
here.
Oh my God.
This is what the Simpsons did to me. There's Conan O'Brien, of course.
Who?
I'm gonna stick with me. Look, I at the end of running the Simpsons, where I worked 51 weeks a year, 100 hours a week, and at the end I go to and I was hoping to have a heart attack. I was hoping, get me off this show. Maybe I can have a heart attack. So I made my way. And so I finally, after 2 years running the show, I go to the doctor and he says, "You're morbidly obese." He says, "Do you know what that is?" And I go, "That's what Homer is." So that's it.
It's like light imitating right there.
Yeah, there's Conan. This is John Swartzwelder. Any fans of The Simpsons?
I want to zoom in on this.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
you knew it.
Because I wanted to ask you about this.
He's sort of the Stanley Kubrick of The Simpsons in that he's considered this recluse, this weird guy. He's written 60 episodes of the show. But he's just a guy, he's happy at his house. He's got a big house. He's this perfectly normal guy. They think he's this weird recluse, but if you meet him, he'll just keep talking. He'll talk about baseball. He's the most regular guy in that photo, which isn't saying much.
But this is like the only photo that exists of him. I mean, he doesn't like being photographed.
He just doesn't care.
Doesn't have friends?
It shows you, if you want to be really famous and mysterious, just don't go out. Just stay in your house. This is a huge mistake you're coming out here in front of hundreds of people.
Actually, so John Swartzwelder, the mystery has been debunked here. He's not...
Just a lovely guy. He doesn't do The Simpsons anymore, but buy his books. He sits at home and writes these funny books that read like Simpsons episodes.
I want to ask about being present at the genesis for so many of these characters that at the time were probably toss-offs, right? We got Groundskeeper Willie, Reverend Lovejoy, Kemp, how much thought went into these characters because they've become 7 years later heroes of the Simpsons universe?
Yeah, almost every character on the show starts off with one line. They've just got one line, and then the actors, if they give it a funny voice that sort of catches the imagination, and then the animators will draw a funny caricature that goes with that voice and that line, and that's how the characters are born. And the guy who's best at this is Hank Azaria, because he's so good at it that you can tell his characters came out of nowhere, because 26 years later, they don't have names. His characters are Comic Book Guy, and Bumblebee Man, and Old Jewish Man. That's one of his staples. And he once had a line in the show, Hank Azaria, where his line was "just stamp the ticket." But he said it so funny, that's a character on The Simpsons. Just stamp the ticket, man.
He's like the clerk. Every time there's a clerk or someone at the DMV, right? It's that guy with the mustache. Hey,
No, that's Wise Guy. That's another one.
I love Wise Guy.
Wise Guy. A good one is Groundskeeper Willie. Groundskeeper Willie, he had two lines in the show. His first line was, "You'll be back," and at the end of the show he said, "I told you, you will be back." So it's the end of the day. It's the last thing we're recording, and I'm directing Dan Castellaneta, and he goes, "Who is this guy?" I go, "I don't know. Give him an accent." So he does them Scottish. "You'll be back. I told you, you will be back." He goes, "How is that?" I go, "It's 6 o'clock. Yeah, let's go." That's how much thought went into making Groundskeeper Willie Scottish. It was like 4 seconds. He's now a national hero in Scotland. And in fact, in one episode we said Groundskeeper Willie's from Aberdeen, and in another episode we said he's from Glasgow. And why? Because we don't give a shit. But the people in Aberdeen and Glasgow, they care deeply about it. And whenever they play each other in soccer, a riot breaks out, and people get hurt and killed. And it's like, what are you fighting over? Hey, you know that alcoholic janitor who lives in a shack full of pornography? He's from my town.
And sometimes they design characters based around the writers. This was Mr. Bergstrom, Lisa's substitute teacher, voiced by Dustin Hoffman. This was Mike Reiss getting in the show, huh?
They stuck me, and I swear this is true. Mr. Bergstrom was a teacher I had in school, and This is the substitute teacher that Lisa gets a crush on. And he was deformed. He had a deformed hand, and James L. Brooks said, I love that. That makes him vulnerable and interesting. Let's give him a deformity. And the deformity they gave him was they made him look like me. You're also good looking.
I love that. You're not going to find that in the Simpsons guidebook.
No.
How often do you watch the old episodes?
Never.
Never.
No. I mean, it's all painful for me.
Is it?
I watch that.
What do you think when you watch them?
I watch it, I go, oh, that Smarts joke, that was written at 1 in the morning, and nobody liked it, and we had to put it in. All I see is, oh, this was 2 in the morning. Oh, I wanted to... Oh, we thought we'd be done early, but we worked late, and we didn't get dinner.
But meanwhile, that stupid, lousy Smart Weather's become one of the all-time greatest lines of the show.
Well, that's nice. That really makes it up to me.
Mike, this has been an absolute pleasure. I want to show Queer Duck next time. We have more clips, so maybe come back. We'll send champagne next time.
Okay, that'd be great. Thank you.
Mike Reiss, everybody.
The band says that 2 days to play. I really don't like